On a bustling street, our story begins with Lee C., the protagonist, tending to his own stall. He has a simple routine, placing the day's earnings in the table drawer, securing it with his trusty key, and enjoying peace of mind knowing his money is safe. He's never lost a penny. When lunchtime arrives, Lee C. confidently locks up and heads off, trusting his fellow vendors to keep an eye on his stall and wares. Little does Lee C. know, he's already caught the attention of a cunning street thug who is nicknamed Ghost 6. For his clever schemes and his rank of 6th in the gang, Ghost 6 has been lurking around, patiently waiting for Lee C.'s departure to make his move. Openly snatching the money from the table in front of the other vendors? Impossible. Picking the lock under their watchful eyes? Out of the question. Most would see this as an insurmountable obstacle, but for Ghost 6, a master of deception and chicanery, it's a walk in the park. To pull off his heist, Ghost 6 embarks on a meticulously crafted performance. Disguised as a carpenter, tool belt strapped on, he swaggers up to the table. With an air of casual expertise, he scrutinizes the table from side to side, whips out a ruler, and commences a theatrical measuring session. All the while, he was talking to himself out loud.
This table is so broken, it's not worth fixing. It's a waste of my time. Lee C. is really stingy.
Ghost 6 spoke loudly, attracting the attention of the vendors around him. Some of them may have thought he was right, and they were even smiling in agreement.
Ha ha ha! You didn't know that Lee C. is a famous cheapskate.
What? Next, we see Ghost 6 carrying the table and walking away. He walks away in full view of everyone, swaggering and still carefree, humming a tune as he goes. As luck would have it, Lee C. suddenly remembered that he needed money today when he was halfway there. He immediately returned to his stall to get the money in the drawer. Sure enough, Ghost 6 had just left not long ago, and Lee C. returned to his stall.
Oh no, where's my table?
Didn't you ask someone to fix your table? It was just carried away by a carpenter a few minutes ago. He also said that you're too cheap and that you should just buy a new one. He went that way.
I never asked anyone to fix my table. This must be a thief. He used this trick to distract you and steal my table. There's money in it.
Upon hearing the tale, the vendors are incensed. How dare this brazen thief fool them all in broad daylight? Today they vow to teach him a lesson, armed with whatever they can find hot on Ghost 6's trail. As expected, Ghost 6 struts down the street, lugging the table like a trophy. His blatant display immediately draws attention. The enraged vendors have no trouble tracking him down, his conspicuousness acting as a neon sign leading them to a secluded alley. There, the evidence lies clear, the mangled lock and the stolen table. But Gui Liu, still basking in the imagined glow of his performance, hasn't even considered escape. He's gleefully counting his ill-gotten gains, perhaps blinded by hubris. This, then, is a textbook case of being caught red-handed. Without a moment's hesitation, the crowd descends upon him, a flurry of fists and sticks transforming his smugness into cries for mercy. But the story doesn't end with bruised bones and pleas for forgiveness. Suddenly, a vendor selling rabbits, nicknamed Rabbit Uncle, shouted in surprise, said,
"Hey, it's you! Good job beating him up. Keep going." Just last month, I was delivering 4 rabbits to a customer on my tricycle. I met this guy on the way.
Let me see the weight of the rabbit. I just happened to be going to the street to buy a rabbit.
How about I just deliver them to your house? The customer I'm going to deliver to isn't in a hurry, so I can always deliver them next time.
I'll take a look at it. If it's the right weight, I'll send it home. If it's not, I won't waste our time.
That's right. Just be careful when you take them. These are my best breeds. I handed the rabbit to him with care. After he took it, he touched the rabbit, and then...
Oops, I lost it.
This guy deliberately let one of the rabbits go right in front of me.
I wonder why you don't release that cute rabbit back to the wild.
I was so flustered that I ran after the rabbit, but of course I couldn't catch it. I went back to the tricycle, and what do you think he did next? He let the other 3 rabbits go too. Then he ran away. How angry was I? I'm so glad we finally caught him.
Everyone laughed after hearing Rabbit Uncle's story, scolding Ghost 6 for being so mean. He was really harming people. However, the story was not over. At this time, someone else shouted.
Oh my God, Gangsy, it's him!
What's the problem?
The laughter from Rabbit Uncle's story had not even died down yet, and they were again attracted by the person who was talking. They hurriedly asked what was going on. The person said,
He's the one who pretended to be your dad and ran off with the money from the last customer. I recognize him. One time, Gangsy had to leave the stall for a bit. A customer came to buy some clothes. I was busy at the time and was about to tell the customer to wait, but then I saw this guy rushing over to Gangsy's stall. I thought he was a family member or friend of Gangsy's, so I went about my business. Gangsy came back and realized that some of the clothes were missing. He asked around and found out that this guy had talked to the customer and taken the money for the clothes before running off.
I am the boss's godfather. My son is not available now. Which clothes do you need to sell?
So the customer bought 2 pieces of clothing, but the money was taken by this guy.
He even dared to pretend to be my father and cheat my customers into buying my clothes. You have the audacity to pretend to be my father.
Everyone was even more angry and laughed harder after hearing this. Ghost 6 was inevitably beaten up by Gangsy again. In the end, he was sent to prison for arrest.